Tonight on Cronkite News, the weather gets the better part of the WM Phoenix Open, with the rain forcing round one to be suspended.
And the NBA trade deadline has passed. We'll see if there's any changes to the Suns roster.
And the changes made by one Valley school district after a tragic incident on a school trip.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Lauren Avenatti.
And I'm Jonah Krell. Thank you for joining us.
The weather has officially put a damper on the WM Phoenix Open. We talked about it all week, and round one of the pro tournament was suspended today.
Yeah, Lauren, play was suspended around 12:30 this afternoon, with Sahith Theegala being the leader at 5 under through 14 holes. The morning rounds teed off as the sun peeked through a little bit, but those scheduled to start in the afternoon didn't even get on the first tee. At least 14 threesomes didn't even start their round. The course was deemed unplayable. Scottsdale resident Max Homa says he loves the rainy conditions as long as you can still play.
I enjoy it. I actually like when it rains. I like when it's windy. I like when it's miserable, because I do think that a lot of the players, or a handful of players, are just going to be over it. I'm from Los Angeles, where it also doesn't rain a whole lot. And I enjoyed as a kid, same as yours, when it rained, because I got excited to go to the golf course and practice hitting golf balls when it was wet.
It's that time of year, chaos in the association, as the NBA trade deadline officially passed as of 1 p.m. today.
Yeah, Jonah, the Phoenix Suns made a three-way trade that may help the team get over the hump in the stacked Western Conference. Benjamin Yates is here to tell us more about the new players the Suns just acquired.
Yeah, with under an hour left in the trade deadline, the Suns made a few moves. Not anything major, just a few acquisitions, unlike last year when the Suns traded for superstar Kevin Durant. Today, however, the Suns agreed to acquire power forward Royce O'Neal from the Brooklyn Nets and the Memphis Grizzlies forward David Roddy in a three-way trade, including 3 second-round picks. Now Phoenix is sending out Keita Bates-Diop, Chimezie Metu, Yuta Watanabe, and Jordan Goodwin in the trade. While the Suns didn't make a huge splash, this gives them better depth at the forward position, and head coach Frank Vogel said he was looped in on the trade talks.
But, I said it last night, we love where we're at as a team. If we don't do anything, I'm going to be really happy with the group that we have. But obviously, you always look at ways to improve your team.
So, Ben, not a crazy blockbuster deal, right? But maybe it's addition by subtraction.
Well, exactly what you said. Getting two players for the price of 4, the Suns now have 2 open roster spots left that they can pursue through the buyout market. So more is certainly to come from this.
Thanks, Ben. Now to Super Bowl XVIII between the Chiefs and the 49ers. San Francisco is favored to win the Lombardi Trophy, which would be a crowning achievement for quarterback Brock Purdy. Purdy's journey started right here in Arizona, going all the way to Perry High School in Gilbert.
Back where it all started. During his tenure at Perry, Brock Purdy was named Gatorade Football Player of the Year and led the Pumas to 2 6A state championship games. After being selected last in the NFL draft in 2022, Purdy, nicknamed Mr. Irrelevant, has never been more relevant. But this success is no surprise to the people who helped him get there.
His leadership on the football field was the best leadership I've ever seen in a high school kid. First time I saw him, probably the same thing went through my mind as some of the college scouts and NFL scouts said, this kid doesn't look special. What's so good about him? But then once you get to know him and you see him in action and you see how he carries himself and how he works, there is a difference in him and everybody else.
Brock Purdy's one of those guys that doesn't surprise me. He's on the Super Bowl stage. And on top of it, Brock Purdy's the kind of guy that can handle the Super Bowl stage. Outstanding young man, very humble, has a lot of humility, but he's got the poise, the confidence, I call it even-killedness, if you will, that a pro quarterback needs.
The excitement that Purdy is headed to the Super Bowl extends beyond Perry High School. The whole valley is buzzing with commotion. Billboards with "Let's Go Brock Purdy" are scattered across Arizona. But the reason he left such an impact was for his leadership off the field.
Brock's character here was second to none. He changed the culture of our school to an extent because of his leadership on campus.
His character, his integrity through the ups and the downs, it's never wavered. I mean, it has never wavered.
Those people at Perry believed in me from day one, so I'll always be appreciative of them, and they've always had my back, through college and then the NFL, so I love Perry High School and will always rep them. Growing up in Arizona, you want to just put on for everybody in your life that has supported you, and obviously to be in the NFL and you see, your name on billboards and stuff on like, let's go Brock, it doesn't get any better than that.
Not only can Purdy lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl victory, he's an MVP finalist and could be one of the lowest draft picks in history to win the award. We found out tonight at NFL Honors.
Now, while many people will be watching the game just for fun, there will be others with a financial stake in the game. With more on that, here's Cronkite News reporter Cameron Palmer.
Thanks, guys. Yes, it is estimated that 67.8 million American adults will get in on the action, with wagers totaling $23.1 billion on Sunday's game. Think about that. Pretty crazy. All right, let's start off with the spread of the game. Most gambling sites have Brock Purdy and the 49ers as 2-point favorites over the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs. We'll see if San Francisco is able to get it done. Okay, let's now swing over to the musical portion of the big game. We start with the over or under on the length of the national anthem by country star Reba McEntire. The line is set at 89.5 seconds, so basically a minute and a half. So get your stopwatch out for this one. Now, to the halftime show with Usher. The odds are plus 225 for the artist to perform his 2 hit songs, Yeah and My Way. What does that mean if you bet $100 and win? You will get $225 back. Now, there's also another wager you can make and who will make a guest appearance with Usher. Alicia Keys has the best odds at minus 330. Now it's time for Taylor Swift. There's the MVP Swelsey bet. Now, you might have heard of Taylor's boyfriend, Kansas City tight end Travis Kelce. And Kelce has a plus 1,200 odds to be named the game's MVP. Taylor was the big winner at the Grammys. Now, will her boyfriend come away with the hardware on Sunday? So, those are some things you can keep your eye on while watching the Super Bowl. I'm Cameron Palmer, Cronkite News.
Okay, Swelsey is just ridiculous, all right? But Alicia Keys, I'm a big fan of her. I hope she gets on.
Jonah, I'm a big Swiftie, so I'm hoping Taylor Swift herself joins Usher on stage. Coming up next, the pros are teeing off at the WM Phoenix Open. When we're back, we'll take a look at the challenges Grayson Murray went through in order to get there.
When will the gloomy weather end? We'll take a look at the weather ahead.
Now streaming on the PBS app, the definitive collection of documentaries from award-winning filmmaker Ken Burns.
Hemingway, the man, is much more interesting than the myth.
It is a story that Americans have to reckon with.
He's got my job, I'm the champ.
Discover over 40 groundbreaking films that bring our history to life. Stream the Ken Burns collection now with Passport on the PBS app.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickenburg.
Live in Los Angeles.
In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia.
From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage.
To sports coverage.
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to see.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
As the pros teed off today for the first round of the WM Phoenix Open, there is one player whose journey to TPC Scottsdale means much more than how he fares on the golf course.
Cronkite News reporter TJ Hayes has more on Grayson Murray's road to redemption.
Grayson Murray's path back to the PGA Tour has been nothing short of remarkable. During the 2021 tour, Murray had to step away from the game and focus in on himself.
I just loved the game, right? I loved competing. I loved trying to win golf tournaments as a young age. And I felt like I lost a little bit of that passion for a long time.
Murray has long battled alcoholism. The disease overtook his passion for the game and in 2021 led to a social media outburst calling out the PGA Tour for their lack of support. Murray decided to work on his addiction away from the golf course, where he not only found his faith again, but his future wife.
I know God is a big part of my life, and putting him in the background, it just felt like I was, it felt like it was all about me. And now that I have him back in the forefront, and with my fiance, we're doing a lot of just structure like Bible studies together, and a lot of different things to basically bring him back into my life.
With the support of his family and his faith, Murray was able to start golfing again and enjoy every moment along the way. In 2023, after he gained 2 Korn Ferry Tour victories, Murray had been granted an automatic PGA Tour membership for 2024.
Winning out here, knowing that like the last 9 months of my life, how it's progressed and how I've changed and how I've just, I think, matured in the 9 months. And I still have a long ways to go. I'm not finished, but it was kind of icing on the cake that like all this hard work paid off.
Murray hopes moving forward he can be an inspiration to anyone out there that is going through tough times, whether that be addiction, anxiety, or depression.
You're not alone, you know, you're not alone at all. We just need to, as men, be more open about it and talk about it.
Murray's story has had an impact on the PGA, who has offered more assistance to the golfer as he continues his path to sobriety. And he now has an opportunity to win his second tournament of the year. In Phoenix, TJ Hayes, Cronkite News.
Perry boys basketball ended the regular season last night with a statement win over Chandler. Final score 82-31.
Yeah, pretty impressive. And they're primed to make another run at a state title, and that would be a three-peat. Brandon Tran has more on the #1 team in the state, led by a legendary head coach.
Perry High School is currently the #1 ranked boys basketball team in the state. Leading the charge is head coach Sam Drain. Drain is no stranger to success, having coached at Corona del Sol and Perry, winning multiple state titles. But his biggest influence came from his father, Arizona coaching legend Sammy Drain, who won 4 state titles at Corona del Sol, where the school gymnasium has his namesake.
Everything I do really is based on what he's instilled in me, not only basketball-wise, but just being a good person, work ethic, paying attention to detail.
Wayne built a lot of connection with his players on and off the court. First at Corona del Sol, where he led the Aztecs to 4 straight titles, and coach Andres and Cassius Pete. Andres currently plays in the NFL. Dwayne's bond with the Pete brothers helped him get 5-star recruit Koa Pete to commit to Perry.
He's really made me better on and off the court, staying on me in the classroom, stuff like that. I mean, I don't really bother him that much because I'm pretty good in the classroom, but also as a player, just getting me better every day and just trusting him.
Winning 4 straight titles at Corona del Sol is already hard enough, but going to a different high school at Perry and winning back-to-back championship is something no other high school head coach could have done.
It's not easy to win one. I understand that. I've been very, very lucky. I've had good players. There's a target on your back every game, and we try to let our players enjoy and not get caught up into that.
With the hard work, trust, and commitment from the players and coaching staff, the Plumas are sure to make another run in the playoffs. In Gilbert, Brandon Tran, Cronkite News.
The Pumas start their playoff run next Wednesday. Hopefully by then, Jonah, we don't have any more rain.
Yeah, and luckily for Perry, they play indoors, but right now, Phoenix is getting drenched. Sydney Winnie, she's inside from the Cronkite Weather Center with what to expect for the rest of the week.
That's exactly right. We had quite heavy rain come through the valley earlier today, and as a matter of fact, between 12 and 2 p.m., that's when our heaviest cells came through the valley. And here in downtown Phoenix, we saw quite some heavy rain through parts of this afternoon, really coming down at certain points in time, really making out for a wet afternoon here in downtown Phoenix. But taking a look at our evening planner for tonight, right now we're sitting at a beautiful 52 degrees, and that's only going to get cooler throughout the rest of the evening, 48 at 9 p.m. with a chance of rain, but it looks like that's going to clear up for some parts of the valley by 10 p.m. this evening. And taking a look at where that storm's going to go, tomorrow we'll have some cloud coverage across the state, but some rain is going to move through tomorrow through Sunday when it clears up in the afternoon. And taking a look at our low temperatures for tomorrow, here in the valley we'll be at 48 up at Lake Havasu City, but freezing temperatures all across high country, 17 at Flagstaff, 11 at the Grand Canyon, 27 over in Holbrook. And our high temperatures for tomorrow across the state, 60 here in Phoenix, and again, freezing temperatures up in high country, 31 in Flagstaff and at the Grand Canyon, and Yuma at 63. And taking a look at our 8-day forecast for the rest of this weekend, looks like our storm chances are going to stick around until next week. We'll see sunny skies Monday through Thursday. Thursday we'll see some light clouds, but Friday the storm chances will be back and will be higher in temperatures at 75, which is going to be above average for this time of year. I'm Sydney Whitty at the Cronkite Weather Center. Back to you.
Coming up after the break, a look at the news headlines from here in Arizona and around the country.
Yes, and including President Trump's Supreme Court case. We'll have the latest on the battle to keep his name off the ballot in one western state when we return.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience.
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
I'm Athena Kehoe with your news from around Arizona. The Phoenix Union High School District released a new policy on school travel, several months after the death of Cesar Chavez football player Christopher Hampton, who drowned at a summer camp trip to Show Low Lake. Ana de la Cruz joins us from the newsroom with reaction from Hampton's family.
Christopher Hampton's family is speaking out after Phoenix Union updated their policy on school travel. The school district has banned certain activities like swimming and is requiring more oversight on local and out-of-state trips, such as better chaperone-to-student ratio, including, quote, a clear plan for continuous supervision of students on overnight trips. The Hampton family is still mourning the death of their 15-year-old son and filed a $15 million lawsuit against the school district last October. A lawyer for the family says this policy comes too late.
The new policies show that Phoenix Union School District is liable, they're negligent, and this shows that they're guilty of everything. The fact that they're bringing out new policies now and not prior to this shows that they messed up. They knew that they're the ones that caused Christopher Hampton to drown and die in the lake.
Hampton's attorney Benjamin Taylor says Hampton's family told his coaches prior to the trip that he could not swim. Yet players were still taken to the lake to swim after plenty of warnings.
Christopher was a young student who enjoyed life. He died way too young, and he should still be alive today. If the coaches would have been able to use common sense and not take the students swimming in a lake that said no swimming. One of the most egregious things about this case is that on body camera, you have coaches who are saying that they knew Christopher couldn't swim because they were told by his mother that he couldn't swim, but they still took him and the students to the lake.
We reached out to the Phoenix Union High School District, but they have not responded. A spokesperson for the district told NBC 12 News that the district regularly reviews and revises their procedures in continuous improvement to best serve students, staff, and community. In the newsroom, Ana de la Cruz, Cronkite News.
Now to news from across America. The Supreme Court heard arguments today on removing former President Trump from the 2024 Colorado ballot. Several Colorado voters sued Trump to remove him from the ballot because of his attempt to overturn the results of the 2020 election. The court did not make a decision after hearing the arguments, but Colorado's primary is coming up in just a few weeks on March 5th. And President Biden will not be prosecuted for his handling of classified documents. Department of Justice Special Counsel Robert Hur announced today. But Hur said the investigation into the president did find he, quote, willfully retained classified materials after he was vice president. And today, the FCC unanimously voted to outlaw robocalls that contain voices generated by artificial intelligence. The FCC is making it clear that using AI voice cloning tools to scam people or mislead voters will not be tolerated. Companies that use AI voices in their calls could be fined up to $23,000 per call. This comes after AI-generated robocalls impersonated President Joe Biden's voice last month to discourage people from voting in New Hampshire's primary. 2 companies in Texas are under investigation for their potential role in the illegal robocalls. And in Iceland, a volcano has erupted for the 3rd time, forcing closures and evacuations in the area. The eruption began yesterday in the southwestern part of the country, near a geothermal spa popular with tourists. The spa was closed when the eruptions began, and the guests were evacuated safely. This is the 3rd time the volcano has erupted since December. And that's all for your news headlines. For Cronkite News, I'm Athena Kehoe. Back to you at the desk. Coming up next, you may have heard talks about living on Mars, but what about Saturn?
A discovery on one of Saturn's moons could help scientists better understand where to search for habitable worlds.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
and develop your skills with the latest technology.
If you ever wanted to live on another planet, well, here's your chance.
Astronomers have found more evidence that one of Saturn's smallest moons is hiding a global ocean. A French research team suspects the ocean is about 12 to 19 miles beneath the surface. Researchers say the evolution of the moon's orbit over time suggests an internal ocean shaped its motion. If there is water, this could help scientists gain a better understanding of where to search for habitable worlds.
That's it for Cronkite News. Thanks for joining us.
And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.